Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I was doing things that were helping my journey, my fertility goal, and also helping my person as a woman, as a mother to be, as a mother in the world, of just being helpful to others and playing the role of mother before I had my own child to mother. Yeah, for sure.
So in the Seed program, those 3 roles that I delineate for the women includes the mother, but also the gardener to pull the seeds, to pull out the weeds, till the soil.
For the egg to grow.
Plant better seeds. And then trust, right? And faith. And trust and faith came in with the role of being an empowered, wise egg. So the metaphors piece, when Guy declared it as the Seed program, that gave me the insight to create the gardening pathway kind of thing.
And to use that imagery, yeah.
And that's what I use in the program, because it's way more forgiving and easy to work with than your LH surging, all the science, right?
Well, you get enough of that when you go to the
doctor.
Yeah. You get in the test results. And I was mindful of those, but it was also became a little bit of an interesting science project, even though I'm not saying it wasn't stressful, but because I knew more and how what I was doing could affect that, when I would see the changes for the better, better numbers, better results, that was very empowering and relaxing in the way that I am doing good. And it was always, even if it's only a 0.5% forward, it is forward. It is better.
Yeah.
And when you know better, you do better.
Right. It's forward, and still it's elusive, and it doesn't come with a guarantee.
Yeah.
So like I tell my patients, when you met your partner, they didn't come with a guarantee that they were always going to make you happy or never going to leave or whatever. So this process doesn't offer any guarantees either. But
it does offer learning opportunity, and it does offer, if you're willing to take it, willing to experience it in that way. And it does offer opportunity to connect with your own body and your mind and body and your mind, spirit and body. It's those kinds of things I hadn't, even though I was acting as a profession and for so long already by the time I met you. So I was using my emotions, but it was always like as a career, as a child, utilizing your emotions like they were a slave to me, like they were like part of my toolbox for work. This was understanding them, to have trust, to use them in a different way.
Yeah, it's great that you made the connection. There's a story that came through the Seed program of a woman who I helped her to decide to use donor eggs. Yeah. And she volunteers her story. It's one of the montage that's on the homepage of the Seed program. And she was one of Dr. Ringler's patients. Her story is so much, right? So she ended up using an egg donor. She conceived twin boys. And when the boys were like 8 years old, the father was diagnosed with brain cancer. And she and I have stayed close friends following her journey, because the journey brings us together in a good way. And she let me know that if she hadn't done this program with respect to her fertility, it wasn't so much that she wouldn't have the boys, she wouldn't have the tools to know how to navigate the grief that was fast approaching, and how to give the boys some tools. And she's still picking up the pieces after now he's passed away. But when she told me that, like, I was always so grateful to the women who allowed me to put their videos on this website to encourage other women. And that particular story of hers was so good. And I will never be able to thank her enough for letting me use it and trusting me with it. But when she let me know that in this even harder chapter of her life, that the work we had done together was pulling her through that. Yeah, I think it really made it serious for me.
Yeah, the grief recovery program that you introduced to me was very
the grief work.
Yeah, that was very important.
The Debbie Frankel interview episode goes into it so well and explains how much our hearts are invested, and that's living fully. Yeah. So I think in all of these stories that have been donated to the Seed program for the benefit of other women, that is this heart share and the interwoven tapestry. Oh, yeah. I love that phrase, especially for this particular subject.
Yes.
How we're connected to one another by our stories, especially if they can be triumphant stories, but
But when you talk about the cycles and the phases, that's life too. I mean, they're microcosms of that every month for us in that fertility time. But you look at your life and you can, in periods of time, or if you want to look at the whole life extended.
Yeah, we're in the late fall right now, you and I. Definitely not in the winter season yet. But yeah.
Late fall.
Or our second spring.
Yes, let's call it the extended spring. How about that?
Way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
No,
and yet we are wise women.
Yes, I was going to say the wisdom
teachers.
And I'm proud of some of the things. I've made some big mistakes, like many people, and we have kicked the dirt a little and cried and
cried a lot.
Both
of us are criers.
And then we're both criers, but we both have that thing where we end up turning it full circle and laughing at the sometimes absurdity of our tears. Not that tears are absurd, but how we got there, why we're here. And realizing that cycle too, when we were going through the cycles, and you would say, like, look at your life as the cycle and see there's proof there that you can accomplish this. There's proof there that you can get through this to something better. And you never talked about, like, you can never guarantee anyone. I can remember you saying that not everyone will be able to do this, but everyone can learn, everyone can change for the better, and understand what being a mother for yourself, for your community in this process can be as well, and change yourself so that you could, if at the end you don't have the live birth that you were dreaming of, that you wanted, there's something else there that you will find, that you will create as a mother, as the spirit of the mother, that will be worthwhile, that will satisfy. And if you're willing to show up there. And that is something that you...
and like Brenda Strong said, and Debbie Frankel said, as they tried and it didn't work, but then they have in forces, or like with so much strength, personal strength, they've helped so many
something
people.
Else came to them and came out of them that was creating, that was being mother, that was part of their life's work, part of their
destiny,
their calling. We talk about that.